misunderstandings and misinterpretations that have become ingrained in it.
Normal.
Yeah. Yeah, normalized. Normalized is a good word that I heard the other day.
You just given me my phrase for the day. Thank you, Craig. I'll put it in the chat.
Oh, we'd love to hear the words too, please.
So my phrase for the day is new normal.
Yeah.
See, I couldn't have gotten that from the chat.
Why not, Jess?
It's the tone, it's the charge, it's the delivery of it. It adds so much flavor to just the words.
That's why being in a group is very different to reading a book.
Yes. Very. It's so different engagement. It engages 90, if not 80% more of your body. I'm all for learning faster. Shortcuts, right? Efficiency.
Sometimes I'm glad that I don't learn faster.
Well,
at times this pace is painful enough. Thank you very much. You know what I mean?
I do. And it's like, as soon as you said it, it was like, oh yeah, I understand the other perspective of it too. It's like, yep.
Yeah.
You're so true. But I don't want the pain any longer. I want to get through the pain, but allow it to go at the pace that it needs to move.
Yeah.
That is sitting in the tension of what we want. Like another good friend said, it's like ping pong. It gets hit back, you hit it back, but it's hit it back with compassion, even if it's being served with anger.
Yeah.
So that's where the cheese concept of detaching comes back in, right?
Thank you.
There's a verse. Yeah, it's not easy. There's a verse in the New Testament that goes something like this, that God in his loving kindness, which I assume is another word for compassion, won't allow you to go through any more than you can bear. And then the words follow, the phrase following that, but God is faithful.
That's beautiful.
You know, isn't that something? Yeah.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. It's funny, Craig, look, yesterday I was thinking about that phrase, loving kindness, because the Tibetans work with that. Somebody came in. Who is it?
No, it's Annette.
Hi, Annette.
Good morning, Annette. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Good morning.
It's so wonderful to have you here.
It's a little slower going this morning, and I thought, oh, you know what? While I'm having a coffee, I'm just going to dial in and just say hello.
Can smell that coffee.
Oh, thank you.
Mm.
My house
I
still
can
smells
s-
like baking.
Oh,
Oh
Oh,
boy.
bless you.
no fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great room to refresher smell, so it lasts for days. So,
Hmm.
oh, good. How is everybody this morning?
I'm sleepy.
Okay.
Hopeful.
Mm.
Great, I just got home from visiting my son.
Oh, how wonderful.
Mm.
And how
I'm
is he?
happy.
Sorry, Chi.
How
He
is
was
he?
he was also sleepy, so nothing. So he needed a couple of hours before they go out to the what's it called, vacation house where the foster mom's mother lives. They're gonna spend Christmas there.
Oh, that's so nice. And Chi, you said happy.
Yeah, I'm tired, but happy.
Oh, wonderful.
Been preparing for Christmas and cleaning the house and just dropping in here to wish you all the best and yeah, the Merry Christmas. Yeah, it's a new turning point for me, so I'm very happy.
Mm.
Merry Christmas to you, Chi, and your family, and to the work, yeah, the effort, the intentions that
Mm.
you've put in, and sitting in the tension. So, man,
Thank you, Jesse.
yes,
But
thank
you
you.
know, showing up here, we're exchanging high vibration. You know, we're helping lifting each other up.
Mm.
It's very helpful to me.
Yes, to me as well.
And to you
Good
and
I'll
morning.
say,
yours.
I'll say
Yeah.
me 3.
Sorry, Chi.
Yeah, I just want to wish you and your family, yeah, a Merry Christmas. All the best.
Thank you.
And all of you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Sandrell. Merry Christmas.
Mhm.
Oh my. Little
Morning,
Cindy
Sandrell.
in the house.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good
Good
morning,
morning.
Sindel.
Big love and happy holidays to all of you. All of you. All of you. All of you.
And to you.
And to you.
Sindra, when you come into the room, and I'm saying this because I often just listen to the sessions, it brings in this frequency of something that just pulls the harmony together, just that little tiny bit. And it makes it so soothing to listen to your voice. Thank you. I love it.
That's a great description, Annette. Very true.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. You know, when I come into the room, it's like such a menagerie of all of these wonderful, delightful harmonies and vibrations and joy. And then the contrast are there too. It's not always just like joy, joy, joy. I mean, because sometimes we're coming into some things.
Mm.
So when I come into the room, what I get is like, ooh, life is invigorating. And it's true, you know, it doesn't have to be all highs. You know, the lows are real, but they're like, you know, we don't have to be afraid of the lows. We can discover the lows. We can understand the lows and have compassion for the lows. And just like a pancake, you know how you have a pancake and it's sizzling on the pan, and we can just get under the lows and just go under the pancake and just bring it up and examine it and flip it over and examine it and not be afraid of it. That the lows aren't really lows, they're just a vibration of an ingredient waiting to spark that contrast of life. And then when you flip that thing up and it hits those highs, it's be like, this low is not a low at all. It's that thing that gives the contrast. And we don't have to be afraid of it. We don't have to like look at it as a low. It's an experience of a feeling and a vibration. And it becomes harmony. So I love coming into this room.
I really like how you put that together. It's like having a musical note and you turn it into a sharp. And that's where the harmony comes in. That's so cool.
The thought that crossed my mind was looking at the earth and seeing both ocean and land, as opposed to just land or just ocean.
Wow, what a beautiful picture, Allison. I just saw the waves just like rumbling into the earth and withdrawing and gushing back from the earth and coming back again. That's heart right there. But boom. But boom.
So, Jesse, what is the title of today?
Passion's tension.
Passion tensions.
Compassion's tension. Yeah. I believe that's it. And it's in the new normal. So it's a the tension of a new normal is compassion. That's the opportunity. And 'tis the season of compassion. And a new normal is letting go of the old. But like to be aware of what is there, what isn't working, what hasn't worked, and to notice like what the automatic patterns of those are. Meaning, it's like my automatic pattern is not compassion. So, Annette, I honor you in your, like Allison and you participated in a moment where I had asked my wife that I would like to get her perspective of the pain that I've caused in our marriage from a certain, well, we'll call it hiding, drinking, and lying. And in that, I'm sitting in the pattern, seeing my pattern, seeing where, like, why does that happen? Why do I do that? So I asked her to do that, and then when she's ready. And the next day I wrote a letter as if as what it might have been like. And for me, would be step 8 of Alcoholics Anonymous. You know, make amends with those you've hurt. And so Annette and Allison helped me to say, well, make the announcement. My automatic would have just, oh, let me hide it and slip it under like here so that when you're ready, you read it. Yeah. And they said, no, have her set a time where you can read it to her. There's the words again. Yeah. I can put so much in that there. She has to hear it differently. We hear it differently than we would read it.
Mm. That's very true.
I can put the pain, I can put the emphasis, I can put my heart into those words. So this was Friday night that I made the announcement. I created this space and said, like, you set a time when you're ready. Well, last night she came out and she didn't ask for a time, but she said, well, what am I supposed to read? And for me, even though it was, for me, it was an opening. It was a space that hasn't been there for 22 days. So Annette wanted to update you.
Wow. That's progress.
I so too. It's big progress.
Oh my God. How beautiful of a human experience to bring all that. Like, that's really like laying your cards on the table, like not hiding behind the years. The impressions were made, but not even spoken about. But you could ignore. You're just like, it's like this wonderful expose.
I just appreciate the fact that there was a shift in her to be open to a little tiny. She cracked the door open, just a tiny little bit to peek through.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So for me, what comes for that, what I'm feeling is that the door, there's a key to the lock on the door. And right now the key hasn't locked the door because it still cracks open.
Mm. That's a great description. I love that.
And you did not use force, Jesse. You
Mm.
just provided information for an opportunity and you just let it rest. You observed,
Mm-hmm.
did not use force.
Compassion.
Mhm. Wow, my heart is growing so big right now. Feels so warm.
I can't imagine the enormity of healing.
Mm.
I am feeling so many things right now. That act you provided to engage your wife like that is, I don't know, it's kind of breaking my heart because it's like breaking barriers that she must have, and I'm speaking for myself, imagining as her, because every infraction of thing that hurt her, that disappointed her, that pained her, that she couldn't share but had to walk with or carry or walk through or didn't have the skill set to manage
Mm.
more productively, just not somewhat being a victim, but not being a victim because of the environment of how life just came to be with you every day when those hurts were being imposed, or for her to be able to, it builds walls, it builds, some people can call it resiliency, to be able to give and take with that kind of an environment, for your heart to be in that kind of an environment. And then for you to offer such a humane and grand gesture that can't be measured. Like, there's no parade coming down the street, but that little subtle, when Annette was saying the key, the door was never locked, but could she open it? Could she trust? Could she trust her heart in your space for one moment when another infraction would not be imposed on her, where she wouldn't have to put another brick in the wall to build that wall up?
Mm.
What you're doing for her, with her, for yourself, is pressing out such an energy in my space. Because if my ex-husband, if he ever came to me with that kind of gesture, therein lies me knowing that I loved him for the core and the connection that I know is true in him, and yet not experienced. I experienced his defense. I experienced his pain. And they say you hurt the ones that you love. And I was the closest. And your wife is the closest. She has covered you like I don't know how many years. And now you get to invite her to open that door and give her a chance to exhale, to know you in a way that will not hurt her or offend her. You are putting out such a beautiful vibration right now, and I intend to take every bit of the healing that happens on her side to recognize it as even my own. You're causing such a huge healing in the universe.
Mm.
Thank you, Sindrel. One in my celebration of the moment, I also honored her attention to even ask to just put all of that down, all of that ego aside for one moment. And yes, as that to push that door open and even ask, I love her.
Mhm.
And just for that, like that for me is hopeful.
Very hopeful.
Can you repeat the title of the talk for today? I mean, I heard it. I just want to hear it from you, Jesse.
Compassion's tension.
Yes.
What is possible with compassion's tension? Holding it. And I will share. And as I said, yesterday was a tough day. A tough day of tough was a painful day for me. Arrows were being shot through my heart. In to get a response. To get a response. And I pulled in. My mom says, smile and engage. My mom whispered that to me. Oh, thank
That's so
you.
beautiful.
Smile.
That is divine, JC.
How bubbly as she is, you know.
No, but I mean, that's so well timed. Oh,
That was it. That was at lunch. That was at lunch. And And so then I opportunity to speak with Allison in the evening, and she reminded me, like, the kids. It's like all of this is through the kids. It's like, yes, that's my space. That's my play. That's my opportunity. And so we all came in and played cards. And so yes, I played cards. And I just noticed throughout the cards, throughout the day, is that I wanted to shoot arrows back because of the pain that I had.
Mm.
And I just watched them. I didn't open my mouth. I just watched them, and I watched my mind say them. And I'm so glad that they didn't come out, because that would have closed the door for that hope.
It's
I think
so
that
interesting. Sorry.
it's okay. Go ahead.
JC, as you were talking now, I was watching how our ego needs to fight.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And the minute we realize that we are way more, everything relaxes. That's the detachment. That's the route to detachment. Thank you, Annette.
What I'd like to add on there is that this is a great demonstration of the analogy of FOR, focusing, observing, and then relaxing.
And also, I'm going to remind you of your saying, showing up your best on a day that feels like the worst.
Mm-hmm.
You had it more eloquently. How did you say it?
Showing up in times of chaos as you would in your times of greatness.
Yes.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Because you can trust it. You trust yourself.
Yeah. And in trusting yourself, you're trusting all of what you are.
And trusting all of the universe simultaneously.
Yeah. You're just a reflection of the universe.
Mm.
And trusting the moment.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Trusting the here and now.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that
the
is
timing. That timing is impeccable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially hearing that from your mom.
Yes.
It was very important that to you that she be there when you go through this.
A mother's observation of a child.
Yep.
Just tweaking a little drop of wisdom that can be received or not received.
Mm.
This title is it's like what I see is just like this hug, like what happens when you hug someone.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's
And don't want to let go.
Yeah, it's tension and release at the same time.
Mm.
The arms hold, the hearts release. Hearts feel and vibrate. Not direct, it does, you don't may not feel it directly from the heart, but you feel it in the pull and the hold and the release of the hug. The way the shoulders meet, the way the heads meet, the way the chests meet, the energy that comes from body to body. The acceptance, the degree of acceptance, the feeling of acceptance or placated rejection. Giving compassion, receiving compassion, questioning compassion, measuring compassion, knowing compassion. Putting down defense, putting up defense, measuring defense, curious, the hug, the exhale of the hug, the energy of the hug, the trust of the hug. The surrendering in the hug.
Mm.
And the exhaling in that moment.
So you had me remember two things. One is, and here it's as she said it, and she said it. Not ready was what my intuition said.
Mm. Not ready yet.
Yep, exactly. Just not yet.
Mm.
And
honoring, you honor that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It wasn't like it wasn't obvious, but it's almost like I allowed that to be because there was a part of my old pattern would have grabbed it and ran it to her and got on my knees and said, "Oh, please read this."
Mm. And we abandon ourselves when we beg.
Yeah.
And we
This
don't.
is so good. I'm sorry, Allison. Go.
No. Can you say what you said again, please? Sindral?
I was just saying honoring her not readiness is part of the process. It's the moments that make up this whole event that's happening, enjoying the slow motionness of it.
Yes. Yes.
As my pattern has come in, please forgive me. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'll never do that again. I'll quit drinking, blah, blah, blah. I love you, blah, blah. All of this stuff. It's all true in the moment, but it's not true.
And look at that, Jessie. It's not true because you're not loving yourself enough in that moment. When we do that, we abandon what we really are. And that's part of our ego talk. That's part of fear.
Yes.
And we're not fear, we're love. It took me many decades to come to terms with, to realize.
Yeah. Thank you for holding the mirror up to allow me to see a slice of it. Which means like, oh, I see it differently, but I know there's so much more to work with.
Mm.
And the second observation I had in reflection of that and honoring that moment was to appreciate all that hasn't been heard.
Mm.
Mm.
As the defenses are up, and only when the defenses are up, we only hear what we want to hear.
Yes. That's so true. It's a really good way of describing it.
You know, you can't just put a cake batter in the oven and turn the oven on and take it out 30 seconds later. It needs time to bake.
Oh, what a great analogy. Thank you for that, Sindel.
And the right ingredients.
Yes, absolutely.
Mixed with the right tools.
Yes.
And then the time between to enjoy it, right? So all of it that goes into it, all the tension from wanting it to eating it.
Yes. To digesting it then.
To digesting it, yes, to the next time.
Yeah. Hmm. And I must go, Sindel.
Go, Allison.
I'm going to interrupt you again. I'm just thinking also of Annette's previous analogy with the music note. You know, when one note vibrates and then you tweak the vibration, how much different the harmony is.
Mm-hmm.
And that comment of your mom's, smile and engage, there was so much that I heard in that. And it was a prodding for you. But what I also felt was her engagement.
I'm glad you said that, Allison, because what I got was she was passing on a life lesson.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm. Your whole vibration changes just when you just smile, right?
Mm-hmm. And I could feel your mom's embrace, you know, and support, like she's standing in the wings and saying, come on, you can do this. And I know that you've got it. I can see that you've got what you need. This can be done. And like Annette said, you know, it's the life lesson that she's giving forward.
Yeah, and passing on a legacy.
New legacy.
A new normal.
Mm-hmm.
And the baton is yours to pass on to your children. You're getting it to pass it on to your children. The invigoration of life and love and compassion and the magic of it, the joy of it, and how it makes life thriving.
Yes.
Ooh, it's getting all down in your DNA. It's releasing and it's been there all the time. And your mom has like loved you through all of your crap, all of your expressions, all of the crap that you put out on the world. But she knows what's there because she found it in herself. And she know it's you. And now you're going to have, now you're really, oh man, you are getting to know what it is, to know what you have in you, to pass it down to your children, like to love them through their crap. Be ready. You're going to get it back. You know you're going to get it back. And it's going to be great value to sit back with your wife and just grab hands and watch your children and know that nothing changes your love for them, to love them through it like you all have been supported and loved too. And now you found it also to support each other and supporting them, but having your own moments and special life too. Thank you, Mom.
Yeah. Yeah, this affects everybody in your circle. It's an influence.
Mm-hmm.
Carving a new path.
Yeah. Yeah, they can't, the whole circle can't help but notice that something's different.
I don't have a Christmas tree, Christmas tree, Christmas tree. I don't have a Christmas tree, but what is beneath thee? What a big present you're giving us today, Jesse.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what happens when we live our lives with the intention of loving kindness for ourselves and everybody around us. And that loving kindness is not, it's not only for the ego. The ego helps us experience it, but it's not locked in. It spreads throughout the body into the soul. Or it allows the electromagnetic field that our body exists in to flood the body. That's really what happens. We say yes and we receive.
I love you all, and thank you for the gifts you have given me. And there's a space that's with my mom that I can honor that move because of you helping me see it. And she's in the tension of it too, because I normally would snap it back at her.
Mm. And maybe there's some healing to be taken place there too, Jess.
Yep. Oh, it's it's everywhere.
Mm.
You're taking accountability for the vibration in your home, in your zone.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse, this is where you sit back in that sling between plus and minus and just observe and let it just kind of form and allow itself. Remember, you did go do a timeline too earlier this week. So shifts are happening with that as well. And just sit back and
Yes.
observe and don't force anything. Just allow it just to show up.
Yeah.
Mm.
Just in time.
Mm.
Getting all these pictures in my head.
Yeah, me too.
Do you see yourself hanging in a hammock?
What picture you getting?
When you said that, Sandra, I thought of you hanging in a hammock between two trees.
And I'm swinging, baby.
I love that laugh. I love that laugh. Oh, the coffee's so good this morning.
This is the picture that I got of Jesse. Like, I don't know all the people in your family, but it's like all these times you've gone out to dinner and like everybody kind of like paid their own bill, right? Like that's just the way the family tradition was. Everybody pays their own bill. But this time you're sitting back and you're looking at all of the exchange and interchange, and it's like a 7-course meal. Is like no rush. People are talking or laughing, or some conversations kind of like get muffled or don't say this or don't say that. But this time it's different, right? It's like still all those conversations are going on, and cousins are sitting with cousins and families and aunts and mommies and kids and couples, and everybody's at this big round table, but it's not so big that everybody's not close where you can't like hear all of the action and interchange. And there's no kiddie table. It's like everybody's at the same table. And then I see Jesse like in his seat. And because it's round, there's really no head of the table. But because there's no head of the table. But then the maitre d' comes over and it's time for the check to come. And all of these years, like everybody's paid their own check. But today, Jesse calls the waitress over and says, "Here, pay the bill." And like, everybody usually pays their own bill. But Jesse sits there and it doesn't matter how much it is. It doesn't even matter if the credit card goes through. It doesn't even matter what the tip is going to be. It doesn't matter. He just pays it quietly. And it's not for ego or anything else. It's just a moment and having the emotional capacity and ability to put a big hug around the table without anyone knowing that they were hugged. Except nobody has to go in their pocket for anything. And some of the families there, you know, they wanted to be at that dinner table, but they really didn't have it in their budget. And for others, it didn't really matter. But the sigh of, oh, when your bill is paid, there's a certain grace.
Mm-hmm.
When your bill is, and you know, for those of us who relate to, you know, the Jesus factor, that he died for our sins, that your bill is paid, and Jesse gets to sit at the table with all love and compassion, and that bill is paid, and everyone's had a good time, and they didn't have to pay for a good time. And no one makes a boast about anything because Jesse doesn't say it's all taken care of, like, so everybody knows he paid for it. But it's like, oh, it's time to go. Let's go. Well, we haven't paid our bill. And Jesse says nothing. It's just love. And he gets up and it's with his family, and everybody's starting to get out of the restaurant and at the curb. And somebody says, "Who paid the bill?" And it says, "What? You know, it's whatever. I don't know. It's paid. Did you have a good time?" The focus is on family and fun and love and interaction. And it's something that Jesse's been wanting to do for a long, long time. But it's like a rite of passage that came after Mom said, "Smile, enjoy the moment." Because it was never about the bill. It was about the engagement.
Mm.
Mona, Merry Christmas.
Thank you, and Merry Christmas to y'all.
Mona, Merry Christmas. Welcome. Thank you.
Merry Christmas,
Merry
jingle
Christmas.
bells, jingle all the way.
Mona's had a big hand in this as well.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your appreciation, but when it comes down to it, Jesse, we can say anything that can help you, but you have to be the person that does the work. So we have to give kudos to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm curious, Mona, what you what you sensed when you entered the room here today.
I sense a lot of support for somebody that's wanting to make some major shifts in their life. And it's going to be a struggle. And I sense that he's put together a solid team of people to be there for him. And you're including the people in this session are included in that team. So he picked us.
Love you, Mona.
Love you too, Cinderella. But all the
And you,
conversation that's been going on this morning, I've been listening on YouTube. It's been spot on.
and
And then
you all chose me, and that is humbling. And I am honored to have such amazing souls, wisdom, freedom to say whatever they need so that I can hear, so that we can hear.
Mm.
Thank you, Mona. I stepped in front of you and I'd love to hear what you had.
well, I really enjoyed your perspective where you were willing to see it from your wife's side of the fence. That is huge. A lot of times people in your position are not willing to see it from the other side of that fence. That shows a huge amount of compassion. And what I'm picking up is somebody that really wants something and is willing to make all the adjustments necessary to see it happen.
So, it's like the thought popped in my mind, like, how do you rebuild trust?
Yes. Because that's key.
It is, and it's not the same patterns.
No.
That-
Brutal honesty to yourself is a good place to start that trust. When you can trust yourself, other people can trust you. When you feel like you have integrity, other people
Mm.
will see your integrity.
Mm-hmm. That's where I love those two words of aligning and power. When we align ourselves, we are in our true power. And that power spreads. It's the momentum that carries the love.
Shall I read the letter?
Do you really want to?
My question is, do you think she would want you to share?
Mm.
Hmm.
That's a very good observation, Annette.
Because those are words just for her.
Thank you. No, it opened. So the signs we get, right? We try to make sense of them. And this is to leave something for my kids.
Mm.
A whole different way to know Dad when I'm
Yes.
not here. When I'm not here. So yes, it is a family letter.
So that was a good question. Would she want you to read that letter? I wasn't in a position to respond at that time, but I was thinking that letter is intimate and it's intimacy. And are there other acts of intimacy that you would share out like that? And I also simultaneously got the thing of don't defend the ego, don't feed the ego.
Yes.
But
thank you. Because it in the idea, right? It can go both ways. It can be for the ego. My pattern, it's my pattern. And it's like the information's there. It's what we do with it.
Mm. Mm.
The intuition's there. It's what do we do with it?
Mm.
And so twice I pay attention to when I get hits of something, right? Or concepts or ideas. And what you triggered was family letter. So again, the second time we may include the children.
Mm.
And settles. That's as far as I need to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's as wide and as big as that needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is ours. So thank you for the line between intimacy. And that's where we can have support to test these ideas, these concepts, this intuition. Well, what about that? Oh, you can look at it here, look at it this way, that way. It's like, otherwise we just think of it one way.
Exactly. And there's a word that came up for me. It was boundary. not barrier, boundary.
Yeah, what a simple
Like
word, but damn it, it's hard.
it is, but it's wonderful when you have them.
Ugh.
It's like the skin of your body. It's the contours of your body.
Mm,
That's a boundary.
mm, mm.
I think I'm back to the cake again. I think when you mix all of this up and you ensue honoring that which you are inviting and honoring that which is, you have to be aware of it and then give yourself time to observe what comes up into the surface. So the boundaries are good when it's mixed with honoring, because I'm not you and you're not me, but I honor you, and I by the experience of you all like permeate life, and I honor what you bring. So I'm looking at the intimacy of this union, this marriage, and thank you so much for sharing this, Jesse, so openly, because here, I don't believe it's your ego seeking anything. It's it's on the playground. It's standing at the fence on the other side of the playground trying to see what it can pick up and get into. But because of this space being sacred, you're trusting that you are here without your defense, without your ego. So we're really able to do some good nuclear work on your intentions, and your intentions being able to figure out how to kick that soccer ball all the way down to the other side for victory. So where ego does not get in and interrupt it. But with you honoring the intimacy of what you found in yourself to share with your wife in the letter, and how you hold space and time with her as she processes, because she's only experienced you the way she's experienced you. So when you talk about, how do you rebuild trust, honor her and be trustworthy and hold space with her, however her expressions come out, because she might need to get some cussing out. She might need to get some attitude out. She might need to get some really funky crap out. Sometimes there's so much junk in there, all you can do is take a laxative and an enema to get that crap out the way. And you may have to sit through that. And it may be difficult and stinky, and stuff will come up that you don't want to really deal with. But honor her process. Honor her process, because you've been thinking about this a whole lot longer than she has. So all of this is new for her to experience and trust herself in this space of intimacy where you don't throw it back on her. I don't know if she has a support team like this. And if she doesn't, she's getting it through you. And if she does, what she gets through you, she can't get from anybody else. Like, we can't give you what she gives you. So whatever the process is, honor. That's how she'll come to experience trust with you.
Thank you for adding spaces, potentials, opportunities to ways that it could go. You triggered my imagination, which allowed my nervous system to be anticipative, to be allowing, to be ready for. And in that is to be ready for compassion's tension. The tension of compassion through those, because it is my desire of a new marriage.
Yes, God. I'm gonna tell you a little story. My daughter grew up in a house of unrelenting tension that was covered up with niceties and politenesses. But she felt it. Kids take everything in. They take it in, whether we put a name on it or not. And then she grew up and she went away and she did some things, and was striving. And it had gotten to a point where the home that she grew up in no longer existed. The reason for that home being that way, that marriage was now over. And when she came back, she was just full of unknowingness, didn't know which way her life was going to go, blah, 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 all of that stuff. And she was in a small space with me. And you could tell it was like walking around on rice paper, And one day I said something and it just plucked her nerves good. And my daughter, always polite and kind and thoughtful. I said something that plucked her nerves, and she came out with something that was borderline disrespectful. And then I plucked her nerve again, and more stuff came out. And she was saying things to me that it was even scaring her that she was saying it. And then I plucked her shoulder, just a little bit. I said, "What else you got? What else? What else? Tell me." And I plucked her nerve, and she was crying. She was cussing at me. She was stomping her feet. She was angry. She was mad. I said, "What else you got? What else you got?" And I told her, I said, "Look, I don't know who I was back then, but I'm present now. Give it to me. Give it to me." Because she was carrying the burden of everything that she had experienced and could not express as a child. And afterwards, we hugged.
You know what I loved about the phrase, "What else you got? Give it to me," is that direct experience that it brought in my body of somebody helping you move and saying, "Any more boxes?" And you're standing at the top handing the boxes down. And they take it. So your daughter would be the person standing on the platform handing the boxes down, and you would be at the bottom saying, "I can take more." and the generosity and strength and willingness to clear space for the person that you love. Thank you for that, Sandrell.
Thank you, Allison. That you offered even more. You offered more dimension to that experience of helping a person have space, clearing space. Because we can carry a lot of junk that we don't even need. It's just weighing us down, especially emotionally. If I may, I'd like to call Heinz out if you're able to talk right now.
Yep.
I would love to get your perspective on what you've been experiencing here this morning.
Love and support based on our knowledge and wisdom that comes from our heart. It's not based on ego knowledge or ego wisdom. It's based on what we tangibly know to be true. And the best thing is by supporting Jessie, we support each other because we get to sort of rearrange our own past in a way. We get to allow the past to be instead of accept the past of being. I really enjoy listening to you guys. That's why I haven't said much today. I think that's it for now.
And it's so much, Heinz. Thank you. Even in the silence, just the support, just the hanging in there, the contributing, it's all available. Thank you.
Well, I really like that you said, Jessie, that we chose you too. That every word I wanted to say during this session, somebody else would say before I would. I've been waiting for someone else to say it, and they would say the words.
Yeah,
So,
I know it's what happens when we work like this together.
The synchronicity. Aligning each other's hearts, and it was the exact same words I was going to say. Mona came with it, Annette has come with some, and Allison had said some, Sandrella have said some of it, and I just sit back and enjoy the show then.
Mm-hmm.
And it really brings a smile on my lips that people are this supportive to each other, because it's not something we see in the world normally. People is all about mine, mine, mine.
Yes.
So I like the rare equation, or what's it called? The rare occasion of really good people being good towards each other, and it's been this way all the time here. So it's not. It's sort of like Christmas here, each and every day, goodwill towards others.
Mm.
And that's how I want life to be. It shouldn't be that it's just a Christmas thing. It should be, it's a daily thing, and then we can miss it one time a year.
Compassion's tension, the tension of compassion. It is not our automatic, it is not our default, it is not our normal, and that is the tension. But all the amazing things that will and can come from compassion, we're so afraid to even try it. That's the resistance component of tension. And when we do open up to the momentum, to the flow, to the compassion, tension, it flows, it's possible, it's open, and we don't know what it is. And that is what we're afraid of. That is what we're resisting, is what could be.
Oh my God. Um, um, I'm, here we get to be vulnerable and heroes all at the same time. But being like not having it all together, like having a life challenge is uncomfortable. Um, I'm not there yet, but I know like something is confronting eventually to be externalized. And I'm in a very, very, what you could call insecure place in life. Like it's like everything that is could fall apart. And yet this ultra existence of self is like from above and not from below, or in this world but not of this world kind of experience. And I don't know that I even want to stop the eruption, because to think that I need or want to stop it could be stopping the next horizon of expansion and miracle and everything else. And I could say I don't know what's happening, to the extent that I don't know what's going to happen next. But spiritually, on some other level, I kind of know what's happening. I just don't have any, like, there's no roadmap of the impact or how it's going to happen, how it's going to unfold. and it could be all total disaster, and it could be whatever it's going to be.
That's
But
the way you should look at it, Sindrell. It's
that's
going to
what
happen. That's the way you should look at it. It's going to happen no matter what. So that's the way it should be. No, don't think about disaster. Don't paint the devil on the wall before it happens or anything. Enjoy life. It's an experience, and it will happen no matter what we do. As long as you don't participate in it, you're not feeding it energy. Life happens.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to, like, you're checking yourself to see what energy are you feeding. And it's like choosing, like, over and over and over again. And sometimes it gets exhausting having to keep choosing, because you find yourself in a place where you know, not this, focus this in another way, having to be really mindful and intentional, because it's like other stuff is like, it's like pulling, you know, like it keeps like being present.
Even when we do our best, it can't always be the best when other people are looking at it. We do our best according to ourselves, and you're doing your best. So enjoy
No,
life.
no, I don't think I'm doing my best. I don't think so. I don't think that's it. I don't know what the best is. I know, but I'm not doing my best. I'm not doing my best.
Okay. Well, then you brought it into focus. You brought it from your subconscious to your consciousness, then you can do something about it.
It's the energy of maintaining focus.
Yeah, that's a big one. Maintaining focus. But as you do a little bit, with each step you get to do a little bit more.
I can't hear you. It sounds muffled.
Sorry,
Can you
Sindrell.
say that again?
As you do the first bit, you get to do another bit. And I think that's what Hans means by that in that moment you're doing your best.
That was gracious. Thank you. Thank you, Hans. Thank you.
Joe. Hi, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Missed you,
Wow.
my man. Missed you, brother.
Ho,
Oh,
Merry
my
Christmas. Goodness gracious.
Merry
Christmas
Christmas, Joe.
greetings.
Hi,
Yeah,
Joe.
Missed you all too. I've missed you all too. It's just been, yeah, just getting on this call, but I'm so glad to get here today. How you doing? Hope you all are well. Big love and happy Christmas Eve to you all.
You too.
Yeah,
You and
we
your
haven't heard from
family.
you since you went to Spain.
Yeah, I know it's ridiculous. Just kind of like got out of the loop, just got out of the momentum. Didn't went to, but was on with other things. But just this call was just finding the time to get on it. Because but yeah, man, boom. I know you guys are here, and I was hoping the times hadn't changed too much, so I just thought I'd jump on. But yeah, so blessed to be come here and see all you. Be with all you beautiful, amazing people. Yeah, I proper missed you all. But we're still connected in the mastermind, aren't we? So we're still tapping in, still thinking about you all, sending you love, and yeah, this next year, man. I'm ready to get back into momentum and back into focus. That's it. It's picking the thing, and then it's focusing on it, and it's completing it. And yeah. But wow, guys, big love to you all.
And we were just talking about focus.
yeah. That's when I just came in there with Sindril talking about it. Yeah.
Hmm.
And the tension of focus.
Mm.
Yeah.
And as simple as several sessions ago, I put the intention of a hug. Simple hug. Simple hug. That tension is still in play. It hasn't been resolved. And that's the intention. That's the focus. Just that simple.
Yeah.
Just that simple. And inside that hug is where I get to practice compassion.
Yeah.
Can I say something about that, Jesse?
Please.
Maybe the hug is being compassion.
Yeah, there you go.
Be it to see it.
I accept it. I accept that. And that's the demonstration. That's the true choice. That's the choice. That when we're moved through that, then there's another choice.
Yes, exactly.
It's the stepping stones to my new pattern, my new marriage, my new self,
Yeah.
my new normal. In being compassionate.
So what's the true choice then?
Love my life. Yeah. To be a powerful creator. To live my true nature and purpose.
Mm.
And to be supported. Yeah. Loved and
That's a
vital,
huge piece,
healthy,
isn't it?
all of that, you bet. We're
Being
social
supported.
beings.
Yeah.
And supporting. Supported, supporting. Yes, it's that give and receive. It's the same.
Yep.
It's a cycle. Not the old patterns, but new patterns, the true, the authentic self. And so inside of that, the choice is, like the action is a hug. That's it. Simple. Simple. But boy, it has not been simple. In 22 days, I've given one. And it was hugging a statue. That's not a hug. My definition. So there's the ping pong, huh, Allison? I served a hug. I served a hug in it. It was a statue. It was hugging a statue. I'm ready for it to be served back. But that's the tension, sitting in the tension of that. And there's being compassion. And it's like, oh, the pattern's working, the new pattern's being established when I see that. That then encapsulates everything in that simple action. And it's not the end. It's not the end. It's just the beginning of another one. Now, I don't know if I could use a hug because it's like that one hug has so much importance that would just becomes normal again, right? So then it's like, okay, next step. What's next?
Next is to enjoy every single hug and give more and more and more.
That could be. That could be it. I don't think so, but like to whatever my next one is, Allison, is yes, to have that part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
To have that built into the cake, right? To have that built into the new pattern, the new relationship, the new marriage. The
If I
new
may,
authentic me. Yes, you may.
when you hug your family, not just one person in particular. There's
Yep.
other people there.
Yes.
If you
Yes.
can't do it with one in the way that you want to, you have others in your family that you can.
And we are, and I've have been holding on longer than they have. Try it.
Good.
Try that tension. Try that tension. That is tension in action. That is tension in action. When you hug someone longer than they are, they're ready to pull back. That's an automatic.
Yes.
That's as long as you've held each other in hugs.
Yes.
Is that enough?
It's enough
Because
for now.
one day you may not have the opportunity to give that hug again.
Yeah.
So notice it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I learned that too, to hug until the other person releases. And then
Hold a little longer.
that isn't
Sorry, it's my mom and dad, it's my kids, it's my wife, it's my family, nearby family. I like, yeah, I understand the standard. I understand the standard. I understand the rule to a
I understand
stranger.
what you said too.
Yep.
Yes. Like when you're being hugged and you do release and you're not let go of, that's like, wow.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, I want that wow in certain places.
Yes, in certain places.
And it's the holidays. It's like, you got all sorts of opportunities for hugs. Practice like crazy. 'Tis the season. Compassion, 'tis the season. Unless you're in my house right here. So here's my house. Audrey said it the other day. It was great. We don't have a mistletoe. Do you know what we have?
What do you have?
A mistletoe. So rather than kissing under the mistletoe, you fight under the mistletoe. Yeah.
So give her the job of putting up a mistletoe.
That's right.
And the first hug, she's got to choose. And she stands under that and hugs everybody in succession.
Yep. Yeah, after presents, we'll do that. We'll say, all right, we're gonna call it the mistletoe. And then we'll
Love
make it a
that.
mistletoe. Well, better yet, it's been the mistletoe, so now we're gonna make it a mistletoe. Just thought it was funny, though. I mean, she's a wisecrack like that, and so much like her mom.
It's great that she speaks her observations, Jesse.
Yeah, it is. I don't think I'd ever heard her laugh so much as she did last night.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's wonderful.
Well, it may have been the sugar rush that she was on, but either way, we were playing a game and she was not giving Grandpa the cards he needed. Let's put it that way.
Oh.
Like it was all faux. It was all faux, and she was loving it.
That's your mom, right?
That's my daughter.
Oh, your daughter. Oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, all, what a wonderful morning. Thank you. Thank you
Yes.
for being with Christmas Eve, celebrating compassion. May you have a wonderful day. If I don't see you tomorrow, probably a shorter session tomorrow, because I will have presents. At when kids don't sleep in on Christmas.
No.
So, any closing desires?
Thank
Any
you.
closing desires?
Thanks for sharing, everyone. Love and hugs.
Yes. Thank you
Yeah.
to everybody. This was an amazing session.
It has. Thank you. I have so many presents. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your support.
Thank you for being here, and thanks for your presence and being here consistently every day. And I just came and you was here, and thanks for being here with open arms and love. And I love you all. I missed you all, and looking forward to seeing you all soon. So thank you, big love and salute, Jessington. What day are you on now?
Well, 22.
22.
Yep.
How many days of the call, though? Sorry.
I don't know. Over a year.
Over here, yeah. Salute, man, and congratulations on that. He's absolutely bedazzling, the magic and the beauty that's come from it. So thank you so much. You guys are the best presents ever. So I love you. All right.
All right. Thanks,
Okay, before
Joe.
everybody goes, I got a true choice that came in. So I'm going to share that. I choose being the fully supported co-creator of my life.
Wonderful. I know how
Just-
those are so important for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a really nice one, Craig.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
honor
I
that.
feel that. I feel it. I feel it for you and for myself. Thank you.
You bet.
So today's session for me was a tuning fork for the rest of my day.
Awesome.
Love that.
Love you,
Beautiful.
Annette.
Thank you.
Yes.
Take care. Merry Christmas.
Bye
Okay,
all.
love and
Next
hugs,
time.
everybody.